The Outlaw Midget Series is ready for their inaugural campaign in 2016. One driver coming into the schedule that everyone's going to keep their eye on is the 2015 OSCAAR Midget Series champion, Jody Bound. And Jody, I got you on the line right now. First off, thank you so much for taking the time. I know that the days are starting to click by in a hurry. 2016 race season is going to be here before we know it.
Yeah, getting pretty pumped up. It's been a long winter or whatever. It's hey, it's like any racer you got in the blood and that kind of stuff, and you want to get going again, that kind of stuff. And hey, we've been doing some homework over the winter. We haven't been sitting around and just staring at the championship trophy or nothing. We've been doing our homework, and I know there's a few other guys that have done some homework, so it's going to be a good season.
I got to ask, man, what in the world do you have planned for a follow-up performance? Because after your rookie year last year, I mean, you arrived and made such a statement with that 2015 season. Are you feeling the pressure to craft something even bigger in 2016?
Well, hey, my car owner, Larry Wilson, he's always got a few cards up his sleeve and that kind of stuff, and we've got a few things we want to try in that this year. And hey, there's a lot of other teams that have stepped up their game for sure. I know a lot of guys did a bunch of rebuilds and that kind of stuff over the winter, and Rob McCall and Adam Crothers and all those kind of guys are real tough to beat and that kind of stuff. We got Adam Toyo coming back again this year. He's been out of it for a little while, and he's won some features in the past. So there's going to be some good competition. Jessica James, I know she stepped up her games, and hey, it's not going to be easy by no means.
So you're sort of switching allegiances this year. I know you're still going to do quite a bit of OSCAAR Midget racing, but you're focusing on the Outlaw Midget Series. Its home base is going to be Sunset, but you still get to do a little bit of touring. But does it switch your goals up and switch your strategy up a little bit for 2016 now that you have more of a home track than you did last season?
I'm kind of going to use the OSCAAR, just kind of going to go for race wins, and then with the Outlaws, going to kind of look more towards the championship and consistency and that kind of stuff. Kind of use maybe one as a little bit of a test bed, but pretty excited about the Outlaw Midgets. They've kind of came together pretty quick with some of the people behind the scenes, and they got the right people in the right spots, and it's going to be really good. They're planning way in advance. I know they got some stuff to announce for 2017 already. They got some awesome sponsors on board, and Mark Dilley, he's been great and giving us some race dates, and Jason Tom up at Solo Beach and that kind of stuff. So it's all positive, and it's going to be good. I'm pretty excited to get back and do it, and it's going to be. I think with the midgets in general, it's going to be a bit of a transition year. A lot of guys are on the fence on what to do and that kind of stuff, but down the road we'll see what happens, and it's all good.
What kind of competition? What kind of names can we expect in this series? Because it seemed as though everyone that jumped on board was a past feature winner elsewhere, or had run at the front either with the Hurricanes or with the OSCAAR Midgets. I mean, are you feeling as though we're going to have a lot of parity in 2016 in terms of who's already signed up for the roster?
I think I'm thinking you're going to see like 10 real competitive cars like each night. I think if you run in the top 5 this year with the Outlaw Midgets, I think you're going to have to bring your A game every weekend and that kind of stuff. And, I know there's a lot of, like Jessica James and Rob McLean, that kind of stuff. They're not sitting around. They got a bit of a bullseye on my back and that kind of stuff. Maybe set the standards a little bit too high, but hey, we're going to try our best. And the biggest thing with the Outlaws, we got some good people running it, and they're racers at heart, and nobody's in it to make their pocketbook bigger and that kind of stuff, and they want the series to grow and that kind of stuff. And Mark Dilley's been great with us and giving us some dates and that kind of stuff, and it's one of the premier tracks definitely in Ontario, and everybody seems to enjoy going there. It's got a lot of positives going for it, and really appreciate Mark giving us this opportunity to kind of start the new club there.
Now, in 2015, for your rookie year, I mean, coming in, you were sort of able to fly under the radar a little bit at the beginning of the season, before things really heated up for you. But you mentioned that this year you got the target on your back. Coming in as a champion, does it feel a little bit different knowing that everyone else is gunning for you, knowing that they're going to be looking real hard when you're on the racetrack for practice, trying to figure out what adjustments you're making? I mean, the fact that you're the new high water mark, does it feel a little bit different entering the season?
Yeah, definitely some pressure and that kind of stuff. But yeah, like you said, we did fly under the radar for quite a bit of the season, and I don't know if, like myself, I don't know if I had the championship in mind when we started last year. I definitely wanted to go for Rookie of the Year, and then, kind of moved halfway through the year, and we were still kind of up top in the top 5 and that kind of stuff. And I think my car owner, Larry Wilson, he felt a little bit more pressure than I did. I never really thought about the championship until kind of the last 4 races of the year, and I know he was doing lots of pacing, and Brian Robinson, he helps at Madison, that kind of stuff, and it was good. It was good to bring the championship home to those guys. It was. I did it more for them. It makes me happy to see them smile, and it was an awesome season. Probably the best part about my season was probably the first race. Racing with my brother. He finished first, I finished second, and seeing my dad in victory lane, and hey, it was cool.
It was so interesting the way you started your year, because in your first 4 races, you had 2 runner-ups, and then you had 2 finishes outside of the top 15. So it looked like you were going to have a bit of an up and down campaign, and then you were able to sort of stabilize a little bit, and then you went on your hot streak. Where did you really turn the corner towards, I guess, finding your footing? Was there a moment that you can turn to say, that's really where our championship pursuit really started in 2015?
I think in the beginning we were maybe just, even myself as a driver, I think a little bit too excited and a little bit too anxious and that kind of stuff, and maybe pushed things a little bit too far and that kind of stuff. And, as we got going through the season, we kind of relaxed a little bit and learned a little bit more. And then I would say probably the last 4 races of the year is actually when things started to kind of gel for us and that kind of stuff. And obviously the last 2 races of the year were probably, I felt, our best races and most consistent. And we were fast. There was times where we were fast, but we didn't have the results. And it was an up and down year. It wasn't definitely handed to us. There's, we were having 27 to 34 cars a night, so it's a lot of cars to battle against and that kind of stuff. And I think it's going to be the same way this year. With the Outlaws, I think they're going to get a good turnout of cars, and it's a good bunch of guys. And hey, it's going to be competitive again. I'm saying it's probably one of the most competitive series kind of in Ontario right now, and it's probably the most cost-effective racing.
When you look at how emphatic your season was last year in terms of a rookie campaign, I mean, freshmen they don't come out and have that kind of season very often. It was pretty incredible. How important is it for you to find that momentum this year and kind of pick right up where you left off for your sophomore season to avoid that sophomore slump?
I think just kind of, I think myself and car owner Larry and Brian, we're pretty level-headed people and that kind of stuff, and we don't overshoot our expectations. Kind of take each race as it comes, that kind of stuff. And even last year, we had some good runs, we had some consistent runs, we had some bad runs. At the end of the year, the points look after themselves, so you can't focus on the points so much, and just kind of consistency is what pays off at the end of the year, and that's kind of puts you on top. But it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be a challenge. Nobody's going to be sitting around. I know a lot of guys have been doing some homework over the winter. So
I know that a championship season and then the ensuing follow-up does not happen without a lot of people behind the scenes, the marketing partners, the guys that are at the shop helping you put the hours in. Go ahead and let me know who's helping you get back to the racetrack in 2016.
Obviously, my car owner, Larry Wilson. He's an awesome guy, and Brian Robinson. One of the fun things about the racing is just driving to the track with those 2 guys and just listening to the stories of Larry back in the snowmobile days, and Rob and Brian listening to that kind of stuff, and that's part of the racing thing. Paul Law, Midas Orangeville, he's kind of a racer from way back when, and he's racing out all the time. He helps us out sponsorship. Jim Dunlevy of NTM Bearings. We got Team Chaos, make some wicked snowmobile products and carbon fiber. Made some carbon fiber stuff for us this year and that kind of stuff. Hey, without those guys, it's a tough thing to do, and we really appreciate their effort and the support they give us and that kind of stuff. And then Mark Dilley and Jason Tom, Saul Beach, allowing us to race at their tracks. It's not one person makes everything work. It's a true team effort and that kind of stuff. So,
now, if the fans wanted to follow you on social media all season long, where could they do that?
Just on Facebook or on the Outlaw Midget website, outlawmidgets.ca and that kind of stuff. I know there's going to be some Twitter stuff and Facebook going on, that kind of stuff, and through yourself, and there'll be lots of stuff to see and that kind of stuff. But first race for the Outlaw Midgets is June 4th at sunset, so that's going to be pretty exciting. And then traveling down to the States again, back down to Holland, New York. That's probably one of my favorite tracks. I used to race TQ Midget 8-10 years ago, and always enjoyed going back down there. So that's going to be pretty exciting for a lot of guys. I
can't wait to see what you got up your sleeve, brother, for a repeat performance, because 2015 was huge. I got a feeling 2016 is going to be even bigger. Thank you again for the time, and all the best this season.
No problem, Spencer, and hope we get to talk to you in Victory Lane sometime this year.
Sounds good, my man. There you have it, folks. Jody Bound, he's ready. First weekend in June, Outlaw Midgets are rolling into Sunset Speedway for their huge inaugural 2016 campaign. Make sure you are there.